I'm really excited today to be here in our nation's capital to talk with congressional representatives that Washington State has sent here to talk about cultural programs, why arts, heritage, and science programs are important to every community in Washington. When I was a young kid, theater saved my life. It gave me a direction, it brought inspiration, and it really taught me some of the best skills that I have today. I always feel like my theater skills are still my life skills. And it's that background that really inspires me to come here to Washington, D.C. to talk to the elected officials that we've sent here about why arts programs are important to their communities, why how arts is an industry. We are jobs, we are quality of life programs, we make tremendous social impact, and we're a pillar for Washington State economy. And that is what I'm excited to talk about here today. I think advocacy is something as humans we do every day. We love to talk about things that matter to us, things that we care about. But when you advocate in the government space, it takes it a step further. It really, it's not just about talking to your friends. It's about talking to the people who are distributing resources, who make important decisions, who pass laws. We are all Americans, and we have resources that our government is setting aside. And if we don't advocate for the arts, well, then trust me, those resources will go to something else. They will find other things to put money into. But I know that when I come here and I advocate for arts programs, that I'm making sure that we have a seat at the table and that they are keeping in mind the other things that are important and necessary for their communities. We are all Americans. We are all Americans for the arts. We want more arts. We want arts that are equitable. We want arts in every community, every city, every town. We want arts in big cities. We want arts in rural Washington. And that's why we're advocating here today, to make sure that all communities have a chance to be lifted up, to be inspired, and to really have arts at the center of their civic life. So Washington State is lucky to have 12 members of Congress. We have 2 senators and we have 10 representatives. So today I met with one of our senators. I met with Senator Cantwell's office. And I also met with the legislative aide for Representative Jayapal, which is really personal to me because I live in her district and the 7th Congressional District. And I'm about to meet, to go to the office to meet one of our new representatives from the 3rd District of Washington State, which is Southwest Washington, Vancouver, along the Great Columbia River, Washougal, Camas. So I'm going to meet with them. They're our freshman member of Congress. And then I have more meetings tomorrow. So, and this is my 2nd time in Washington, D.C. this year. I was here in February where we met with all of the offices as well. I really consider either an appointment with the congressperson or a member of their hardworking staff to be a really great opportunity for us to talk about what our Washington communities need in regards to arts. I'm really lucky to come from a state that has, a really rich and diverse cultural sector. We have many arts programs, we have amazing museums, and we have great historical sites and heritage societies and amazing science organizations as well. So when I advocate here in Washington, D.C., I bring back critical information just about how our government works and how they fund programs like this. I also develop relationships that we then bring other people. We are the connecting point between Washington State organizations and the audiences that care about these programs with their elected officials. So I think we bring back ideas, we establish lines of communication, we also, we make a lot of invitations here. I know we all live in the same state, sometimes we live in the same city, but when we're in Washington, D.C., we're inviting them into our spaces back home. For example, we've been able to bring members of Congress to performances, to a symphony, to a music band performance, to a live music venue. And also, we also, for example, were able to do a town hall with Representative Jayapal herself at the Seattle Art Museum just last month. So I think we're making connections. And we also believe that, there's real challenges that the cultural sector is facing right now. And with more people talking to each other, we're creative people. we can figure anything out, right? So with more conversations, we can figure out the solutions. The pandemic has been really hard on arts organizations, on heritage groups and science organizations as well. And it's going to take a lot longer for them to fully recover as businesses. So therefore, having conversations with member of Congress, making sure that they understand the challenges these organizations are facing so that we can start looking to the future and figure out what do those organizations need right now, what public policy should be passed here in DC that will really benefit communities back home. Inspire Washington is the state's cultural advocacy organization. So, we're most accountable to the organizations that provide science, heritage, and arts programs back at home. But most importantly, we're accountable to the audiences that count on them, the students, the creative workers that do all the jobs. So therefore, anytime that we can partner with any organizations like Americans for the Arts, there's a lot of national leaders or regional leaders or West staff, the Cultural Advocacy Group, Opera America, League of American Orchestra, the Theater Communications Group, the list goes on and on. When we can work together, I believe the heart of advocacy is many voices, one song, right? So all of us working together, we can make big things happen.